Calling all track and field fans. Get ready for Saturday, April the 19th. Save the date, save the date. Saturday, April the 19th. Get ready for a full day of track and field excellence as the Board of Governors of the Next Gen Event Inc. presents the inaugural Next Gen New York Invitational Relays Event 2025, the high school version, from 8:30 in the morning till 6:30 p.m. inside the stadium at Memorial Field, 431 Garden Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York. Sponsors and partners are welcome, but make sure you get your entries in before March 31st. For more information, call 929-360-7585 or 973-510-3148. Or you can also email shawnoclaf@gmail.com. Track and field fans, don't miss it. Track and field fans, get ready for the ultimate relay showdown in the Big Apple. It's the New York Next Gen Invitational Relays 2025, the high school edition, featuring some big schools from Jamaica: Kingston College, Jamaica College, Calabar, Vere, Hydel, Homewood, and much, much more. Saturday, April the 19th, the place to be is the stadium at Memorial Field, 431 Garden Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York, from 8:30 in the morning till 6:30 p.m. Get your tickets now. They're only $25 before February 28th, $40 after, and children under 13 absolutely free. It's the New York Next Gen Invitational Relays, brought to you by the Board of Governors of the Next Generation Event Corp. For more information, call 929-360-7585 or 973-510-3148. Or you can email info@nextgen-nyc.com. Take advantage of the early bird special. Get your tickets now. Track and field fans, you definitely don't want to miss this. Saturday, April 19. Don't miss it.
High schools from the tri-state area, New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey will square off with some of Jamaica's finest in a blockbuster showdown. In the first staging of the New York Next Gen Invitational Relays at the Memorial Stadium in Mount Vernon, New York on Saturday, April 19. Among the special invited Jamaican schools are Homewood Technical, along with Vere Technical and Belfield, among others, who will be on show in this epic one-day athletics carnival starting at 8:30 a.m. as they fine-tune preparations ahead of the Penn Relays in Philadelphia 1 week later. The traditional 4x100 meters, the 4x400 meter relays, the 100 meters dash, the 110 sprint hurdles, 400 meters, and the 800 meters are among the events on schedule in a spectacular day of athleticism, teamwork, and community. Let's support the next generation of champions. That's the first staging of the New York Next Gen Invitational Relays at the Memorial Stadium in Mount Vernon, New York on Saturday, April 19. You can't afford to miss it.
Yes, good night, Facebook family and friends. Welcome to another episode of My Perspective. I'm Sean Falconer, your host. I must say countdown time, yeah, man. Countdown to the big event, Saturday, April 19th. Yeah, man, New York Next Generation Invitation Relays is coming. Yes, we got less than 2 weeks. Why I say about 8 days or less to go. But everything is looking up and up. Getting ready for the schools from Jamaica. The local schools have been registering. Yes, this epic new event in New York will be a one of a kind. And I must say that so far, on the streets, the buzz is out there. Buzz. So make sure you get your ticket early. You want to buy a ticket, check out Eventbrite. Tickets are now $40. Got early bird special going in February. Unfortunately. Plus, we got a VP. We got a VP section. We're going to have some food and refreshment. Yeah, we can't treat VP them like regular. Yeah, you pay VP money. We'll make sure you get something. And food will be there for all day. And we're going to have refreshments to all day for all the VP. Persons there. So please make sure you come out and support. Yeah, man. The VP will turn up. The race is going to turn up. The kids are ready. Schools are here. We confirm. Only Herbert Marson, Homewood Technical, Stets, Very Technical, and Belfield High School. Everybody else say Penn is the priority, but they can't make it this year. But next year they'll be here. So it should be. I always say should. It will be an exciting, epic event. We are getting local coverages, and we have foreign coverage coming in for this event. Yes, some foreign media personality will be coming in for this event. And one of the media person coming in is here on my show tonight. Favorite brother, over 25 years in media experience. He's presently at one of the biggest sports station in Jamaica right now. Yes, the biggest sports station in Jamaica. I'm not that Irish Jam, I'm not the Irish FM. Yeah, man. Irish FM, the boss is that, man. Plus, even one favorite brother too. So, without further ado, I want to bring in my brother from another mother and a sportscaster. I think over 25 years experience and more. And we're going to have a chat tonight about champs and the whole fiasco and the kind of rumors I'm hearing out there that it's a win at all costs. So without further, I want to bring in my friend, Mr. Roger Hasfal. Boy, I hope I don't say name properly. Because the man can't. We get people name wrong, So let me add him to the stage right now. Big brother Roger, how are you doing, sir?
I'm great, Mr. Faulkner. I'm great. You know, listen, say we know you're so, So, pardon me if I say so,
Roger,
if the conversation I go on, I say so, I feel
Hey, I don't want the Liverpool jersey, Boo to Liverpool.
Never walk alone. Asphalt.
You know the name of special, Roger? The name of special, Roger?
Yeah, man. It's an old English name, It's an old English name.
Old English name. Okay.
Yeah, man. Ancient English.
I say your name the legacy name, then, boss.
Yeah, man. Straight. Ancient English.
So how are you? How are things with you, brother?
We're giving thanks, Things have been good in terms of, how we have been evolving. And people always say, boy, what is your greatest accomplishment in life? Mm-hmm. I say my greatest accomplishment in life is to be alive. Straight.
And you're here above earth every day.
Yes, man.
Yeah,
straight.
Man. Sealer, boss.
Sealer.
Yeah, man. So, I brought you on to talk about the champs, and I want to give you a review on it. And because I have some really intriguing questions, and maybe you can answer me who the man in the media role, who's on the ground, and my viewers can also post their comments about it and give their feedbacks on it. But give me your overall summary, and we can go into some discussion. Because I see something that I'm not too happy with, and maybe you can have clarification on that for me, brother.
Well, all of us were enthusiastic heading into championships for this year.
Right.
With the advent of the new track, we were all, excited to see what would have been an offer. I mean, there were speculations that the track would have been slow. It would have been, but it turned out that performances on the track were top notch from the athletes. So the performances on the track and the athletes, no issues.
Right.
Over the 5 days of competition, we had a problem. And one of the problems that we had, a fundamental problem, was the alarmingly high amount of false start, numbering about 60 or 61. Never yet seen so much false starts in champs history.
Right.
That was a significant, and some of the false starts were just straight nonsense. Some of them suspicious, because I say that because they brought back some athletes. They brought back a number of the athletes.
And bring them back. That's what you're saying.
They disqualified them after. Some of them, quite a few of them were disqualified after they knew they were disqualified when they were warming up the next day or something like that they were retroactively disqualified.
Retract.
And that's the word they used. Yeah, retroactive. Yeah, retroactive disqualification. That's the word they used. Yeah. And that was a problem because we have never yet seen anything like that before. Right. We heard that it is in the rules, but I don't see it as yet.
You don't see it. Well, you
no.
say you heard
but
it.
That well, we never yet, but it has never yet happened. We have never yet. It has never yet happened.
Right.
All right. That was one of the issues. The other issue was the retroactive was one. The suspicious was one, and the nominal amount. Some of them were clear, but the vast majority of them, were just downright, suspicious, and that put a damper on the championships, leading to a lot of people saying that possibly this was the worst champs ever. I wouldn't go that far to say it was the worst champs ever. I wouldn't, say that, but I would say though that it really put a bad taste on the championships and officials. ISA officials and the officials from the from an official point of view in terms of like those persons in the rooms that deals with these issues. They were embarrassed. They admitted it on air, and I have them on tape. So they were embarrassed in terms of how things unfolded.
Right.
And in terms of equipment, people were saying that possibly there was an issue with the equipment. The persons who are responsible for the equipment, they are saying that there's no issue with their equipment, but it was just a general bad taste. And coupled with the fact that one of the athletes from Kingston College, an appeal was made against him for being one of too many quota athletes in Class 1. Upon investigations, Kingston College was found wanting that they had 3 quota athletes, and they faced disciplinary action, and somehow they got out of it on the claim man. They got out of it claiming that the athlete in question, their letter to ISA initially, which ISA didn't receive or didn't see, was that this athlete was in fact enrolled at Kingston College from April 2023, prior to the quota rule coming into effect on September 23. Now, Kingston College, they appealed and then they somehow say the third athlete was the one who was the athlete that was over the quota amount. That third athlete did not produce a point.
So it wasn't important anymore.
Yeah, so they took him out. They took and their punishment was 0 points. You understand what I'm saying?
No, repeat that. No, that total amount. I said, go again.
All right. So the 3 quota athletes Kingston College had, the third, the third one, they admit that it was a breach to have 3 quota athletes in the class.
All right, that's fine. They admit that, yeah.
Right. The athlete who was in question, when the investigations were up and about, he was brought back as a quota athlete, and the third quota athlete was one who did not score a point. So because he did not score a point, so Kingston College say he was the athlete who should be taken out of the championship, and their punishment was 0 points.
Okay.
He did not score a point.
So it's 0. So they are saying that he's not important, so he did not score a point, so 0, take him out.
Well, I don't know if they want to say he was not important or not, but the fact of the matter is that he was the athlete who became the athlete who was over the quota amount limit, and he was taken out of the championships. He was not allowed to participate in any other events because he was slated to participate in other events. However, he was taken out, and say for instance, if he had garnered any points, that they would have taken it. They would have taken away that amount of points, but he did not garner any.
But my point is that I understand that and I get that clear. So he didn't get any points, then just pull him out. Fine.
Right.
They breached the quota system.
Right.
And they got away by just taking out the athlete and remove it and continue the championship.
Yes. So the comment by the ISA president subsequent to that said it was much ado about not really kind of rubbed some people the wrong way, and I wrote an article about it. I don't know if you have seen it, where we are very much disputing that comment, because Kingston College say that the athlete Joel Clement, he would have been enrolled at Kingston College in April 2023, but it is beyond their control. He could not be in the school until the end of June, or he could not be in Jamaica until the end of June.
Right.
Subsequent checks indicate that he was still in school in Grenada while also being registered at Kingston College.
So therefore, there's a violation there with the quota thing again. There's another violation there.
Right. So
therefore,
that was a level of, kind of that I mean, I don't want to say dishonesty, or I don't want to paint too much a bad way, but that I'm speaking the facts, that this youngster was still in school in Grenada up to June 2023, and Kingston College said
he was in school.
He was registered in Kingston College that time as well. That somehow that don't make any sense. You can't register in one school and be in another school at the same time.
Well, let's play. Well, we can't play this.
So I'm just speaking the facts as they are. I am not gonna
listen. One thing
cross any aspersion.
You're saying the facts are the facts, and that's a clear breach of ISA rules. And before I even continue, because then again, you mentioned so much things about the breaches, the quota system. Then this kid who say he was in Kingston College from April 2023, and he was still in Grenada up to June.
In classes, attending classes
based on your research, other media personality and all that.
Yes.
And therefore, it only begs the question. Is that, and I get this athlete run at champs, he gained some points. So
yes, he actually won. He was actually won the decathlon.
Yeah, and that's the only thing he did. And that's what 7 points?
12 points.
12 points. Did he participate in anything else?
No. Well, so yes, I think he participated in javelin. Yes, I think he participated in javelin.
So I'm sure if you get points in javelin, if potentially got me 2 or 3 points, that's 12 plus 3, maybe 15 points.
Yes.
No, my thing is this: it's quite clear based on your assessment and your investigative work as a journalist, is that there were clear breaches by the Kingston College, College, whatever team management, or the whole thing about it. But
all right, there was a breach, but ISA, the Intersecondary School Sports Association, they are the ones who this thing got out of control and out of hand, because they should have assessed the situation. They did not. They gave Kingston College word of mouth. They did not send them anything official that the athlete was eligible. Kingston College say they got clearance from ISA by word of mouth that the athlete can compete.
Well, and this
was an issue as well.
This is weird now. I'm going to be very blunt and say that is the thing of word of mouth approval and all that. That is backward. BACKWARD. Backward in terms of an organization of ISA And let me clarify something here, and you can correct me. In any sporting event around the world, from football or soccer, from NBA to NFL, from whatever high school track and field, from any organization around the world, and this is a governing body for track and field for high school. There have to be rules, guidelines, and constant also in terms of how they angle cases of this magnitude, like the quota thing. There have to be rules. Now the question to you, does ISA have the rules that can handle all of these situations? Because it seems like, from my perspective, from this end, it's like, okay, things happen, road them out, that's it. Do ISA have rules to deal with situations like this? Roger,
well, the rules in cases like this that happened, the only course of action that can be taken based on what is on paper is to remove the athlete from champs and take away the points.
Mm-hmm.
But we say there should be more, and we are saying that if there's because we have seen breaches and schools are punished in other ways.
Right.
So we are saying that once there's a breach, one shouldn't just get away with a slap on your wrist by say, we're just taking away the points.
Right.
And we're taking away, and there should be more, because you should know the rules and you should be honest enough to know to do the thing honestly. And if you get caught, then there should be some consequence. So the only course of action that ISA say they could take is to take away the points and remove the athlete from the championships. And we are dissatisfied with that. We thought that there should be more in terms of punishment for the breach.
And I agree 100%, but that's where the rules dictate. Because once again, it's quite clear based on your argument. ISA rules don't have no teeth. They won't have gum.
In a case like this.
Yeah, man. So they have to work. It's more than one case. We have seen another thing. Listen, ISA is bragging about the championship being a world-class championship. And I'm not going to talk about the official. I'm going to take that in another segment. But what I realized, and I stand to be corrected. Last year I saw an incident where Jamaica College goalkeeper get 2-game match at a point of critical because them here said he might cuss out the officials. Here said
yes.
Them dry him up in a disciplinary committee game, 2-game. JC was affected by the performance in the semifinals. I'm not sure it was semifinal thing. And now we are hearing now again that there was some breach in the rules, but the consequent action was not strong enough.
Yes.
And so it goes to show that ISA needs to know, the leadership of ISA needs to put stronger rules in place.
Yes.
Because once again, if this continues, you're going to question the integrity.
Exactly.
And
your reputation and your credibility.
Correct.
That will get hit if things like these are just swept under the carpet, because that is what it actually was. It was swept under the carpet and a cover up.
Let's call it is two things. It's corrupt and it shows a level of incompetence. You see, and when I say corrupt, is that it's like them say, okay, because we don't have the rules, we cannot sweep it on the carpet and move for people to live with it.
Yes.
When I say incompetence, it is the unwillingness of ISA, the body, to say, listen, we have these issues that keep popping up. Let us strengthen the rules and regulation governing ISA. Because at the end of the day, my brother, is not about the principals that are who. It's the student athletes who are being affected.
Yeah, and one other thing, Sean, is that we have seen action. It's been firm on other schools, and the other schools have to just accept it.
Right.
But I don't know if there's a fear to be firm to this particular school. We can go back in history and show of cases. I can tell you two. 2017, Ari Rogers, the Ugandan distance runner, it was against the rules for him to just come in and run for the school in his first year. KC cited mitigating circumstances as to why the athlete was unable to arrive at the time which was required of him. And Issa bent the rules and allowed Rogers to run.
Right.
And that was bending of their own rules were bent by them. And he was allowed to run. Jamaica College had a similar situation last year,
right,
which was an even stronger case where all the trail and the paperwork show why he was unable to arrive at that particular time.
Right.
And Issa rejected Jamaica College. And as I was saying, Jamaica College had a stronger case in terms of all the trail and the paperwork, and Issa rejected them.
Right.
2 years ago at championships again, an athlete violently attacked an opponent after a race because of something that happened during the race. Yes, man, it was a big thing. And after the race, the runner ran over and violently in front of the whole world, in front of the whole stadium, in front of the whole world. It was live. Violently attacked him, not once, but twice. And Issa quite rightfully expelled him from the championships. Kingston College appealed, won the appeal, and the athlete was reinstated in the champs again. And that didn't go down well with even the title sponsors, Grace Kennedy, because there were other acts of indiscipline during that champ. And Grace Kennedy came out and said, if something like this continues, they will be pulling they threaten to pull their sponsorship, basically.
Right.
Because of acts of indiscipline that year in champ. So the point is that one school seems to be getting favorable decisions for them, while other schools are not getting any decisions for them. And that is not something that is taken lightly. I mean, I know a lot of people might find logic to try and dispute and try to spin around what I might be saying, but I'm just telling you the facts as they are. So because of that, a lot of people are upset. That, and then with this year again, they got away again with something. It leaves a bad taste in a lot of persons' mouth. And that is just one of the things also that at the championship this year that left, us wanting that, this wasn't really a good champ from an administrative official point of view. So those are just some of the things.
And this is and my brother Roger, and you keep beating the drum and the drum getting louder. And this is what I want to say. If Issa don't change, there's going to be what you could say, a crash. Because once again, justice must seems to be appear to be done or whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
But you cannot keep on favoring and not level the playing field with all your decisions. And
yes.
And it's quite clear once again, Roger, if Issa doesn't improve the rules and regulations, structures, and policies, I can assure you that school or wherever school getting those field will continue to get the field. And I say this to you as a journalist, my brother. Keep speaking the truth. Keep writing the truth. Don't fear boy anybody, because guess what? They know what they're doing.
Right.
And to come to the point, I've heard a coach. I call a coach, and his coach said to me, "Boy, right now, Champs is a win at all costs mentality." What is your view on that? Is it a win at all costs mentality for certain schools? Is it that the coaches have abandoned the purpose of Champs in terms of developing next Usain Bolt, Shelley and Fraser? Tell me, what are your real thoughts? What is your opinion or your perspective on that? Win at all costs.
Win at all costs is kind of.
Roger? Seem like we lost Roger there. He will come back in a few minutes. Yeah, but as I said, the whole thing about the win at all costs. And he talks about the I could call it curry favors and all those things that's happening at the boys' championship and all that. But what can I say? Well, let me add him back to the stage. So
Yes.
Roger, good? Everything good?
Everything good. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go to that extreme as yet.
Right.
Of course, in Champs, there are the top schools. You have Kingston College, Calabar, Jamaica College, and that has been that top three has remained that way for the past 15 years. For the past 15 years.
Right.
And within that 15 years, Calabar would have won quite a few, maybe 7. Or from 2011 to now, it would be 14 years. So Calabar would have won about 7. Kingston College would have won about 4 or 5, one of them. And Jamaica College would have won around 2 number of times. So in terms of that, so those are the top schools that are have invested heavily in terms of their track and field, and those are the out of those 3, you'll always get the winner for the foreseeable future.
Right.
In terms of aggressive, they are all aggressive as well. That is the honest truth. They are all aggressive. They all of them find a way to get some of the best athletes at that age group.
Right.
One particular just has this knack of getting away. Of getting away against the rules.
Right.
And that is a problem.
Right.
And I show you some circumstances already, and there are more. But I just show you 3 main ones. And that is an issue. That is not going down well with a lot of persons.
Right.
And because of that, I mean, people might say, win at all costs. But the reality is that I just one of them 3 schools I go win for the foreseeable future.
Right.
And also on the girls' side, I mean, you have Edwin Allen, you have Homewood, you have Heidel is a new kid on the block.
Right.
And Homewood. Veer kind of drop off a shape now, but Veer was the dominant school one time. Right. So for the foreseeable future, is just one of them 3 schools I go in. You understand? So is how things are done that seems to favor them.
Right.
Is a problem.
Right.
Or favor one particular.
Right.
Is a problem.
Right. So you're saying basically the top 3s are invest heavy when one of those 3 from boys and girls side.
For the foreseeable future.
Right. So you're saying that then that basically until someone else pop up and you're saying that one school get into more favor calls, I should say, in terms of administration.
Yes. So that is an issue. They might very well still win, because they have depth. They have depth. But some of the things that they get away, nobody else not getting away with it, and it is
Right.
clear.
Right.
And that must stop. The field must be level for everybody.
I agree on your point. Then we'll take a quick commercial break and come back because I got some more questions. Stay tuned. Roger, I'm just play 2 commercials. I don't know. Next week, Saturday, April 9, you'll be here live and direct yourself.
Yes, straight.
You giving your commentary, streaming commentary, and participating in other things. So let me take a quick commercial break and come back.
High schools from the tri-state area, New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey will square off with some of Jamaica's finest in a blockbuster showdown. In the first staging of the New York Next Gen Invitational Relays at the Memorial Stadium in Mount Vernon, New York on Saturday, April 19. Among the special invited Jamaican schools are Homewood Technical, along with Bear Technical and Belfield, among others, who will be on show in this epic one-day athletics carnival starting at 8:30 a.m. as they fine-tune preparations ahead of the Penn Relays in Philadelphia 1 week later. The traditional 4x100 meters, the 4x400 meter relays, the 100 meters dash, the 110 sprint hurdles, 400 meters, and the 800 meters are among the events on schedule in a spectacular day of athleticism, teamwork, and community. Let's support the next generation of champions. That's the first staging of the New York Next Gen Invitational Relays at the Memorial Stadium in Mount Vernon, New York on Saturday, April 19. You can't afford to miss it.
Yeah, welcome back to part 2. I'm here with my brother from another mother, Roger. The biggest, sports analyst in Jamaica.
Not the biggest, not the biggest, but I can't help myself.
Listen, you have been doing a wonderful job for over 25 years, so
Yeah,
get
man.
some clap. I'm proud, man.
Yeah,
All right,
help myself.
So let's move away from the whole negative aspect of amnesty. Let's talk about performances at this year's championship, because we know you must have some performances that capture the eyes, and Jamaica can look forward to maybe a next Usain Bolt, Shelly, and Jackson, and all those.
Yeah.
So give us some of the highlights of our performances of the championship.
All right. Well, I mean, on the girls' side, no doubt you can't look past Shania Douglas, that youngster from Mushet. She won the sprint double in class 2, running faster than the class 1 girls at the moment.
Right.
She was a star at champs.
Right.
She's also the world under 20 bronze medalist and still was in class 2.
Nice.
And she'll be heading into class 1 next year. She stood out. Sabrina Dockery, from one of the good things that a lot of the non-traditional schools had athletes this year that came to the fore. So she was one. Mushet, Shania Douglas from Mushet in Trelawney. There was Sabrina Dockery. She was one of them who got disqualified in the 200 meters and was called back to run by herself.
Yeah, I saw it.
The time. Yes, that was another controversy. Her performance was also, although she came second in the 200 meters, but I figure that maybe with all the duress and the stress, maybe, and she got a lane, she didn't get a favorable lane. She just got that time that put her back in the race.
Right.
But she won the 100 meters and that. The youngster from Jamaica College, class 3, 100 meters.
Class 3?
Class 3, man. Yeah, man. Class 3, 100 meters winner from Jamaica College. His name slipped me for now. I couldn't get it. Yes, he became the first class 3 athlete to dip below 10.6.
Wow, really?
10.6, yes. And that was one of the outstanding performances. This is a runner that has all the attributes to be one for the future. His technique, his form is as brilliant as adults.
Next generation athlete, then, man.
Yeah, he's in class 3. There was Seymour, the 200 meter runner from William Knibb, from Usain Bolt School.
Right. Yeah, man.
Yeah, he was a standout performer over 200 meters. There's a youth named Usain Bernard from
Yeah.
Petersfield. Yes, he came through in class 2 as well. You know, those are some names. Shaquin Garden from Calabar, Gary Card from Woolmers, he pulled up.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, and he will not make the Carifta teams and so on. So all in all, there were good performances. You know,
Well,
those are just
event. Listen, man, I think I can't screw. Give them
field
field event.
event.
I hear the record broke.
Field event. The youngster from Calabar, I mean, his name slipped me from now as well. He broke the javelin record.
Wow.
On about 2 or 3 occasions.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yes, man. The javelin record, he broke it, I think, twice.
Nice.
Yes, and one twice. And you know that was an outstanding performance as well. Also, in a youngster in from Calabar as well, in the class 2 discus, he also smashed the record.
Wow.
As well. So, I mean, just the names are slipping me for now.
Listen, I understand, brother.
But I'm telling you where they are from.
Right.
You know, and the winners of the class 2 and the javelin event, both of them from Calabar.
Nice.
You know, so all in all, they were. I mean, on the field, you know, those are some. And as you know, Jamaica is doing very well in field events now. Roger Stone at the Olympic.
This one. I think that's one. I think, to be honest, that's one of the areas that are really improving steadily. But I'm a provocative field events, the shot put, high jump, long jump, international stage. That's why.
Yeah.
I say this without no apologies that these kids are still learning their craft.
Certainly.
And we must allow them to learn their craft and at the same time enjoy learning their craft.
Yes.
And so when it comes back to where these false starts and all these things, it's not about, you must give them the opportunity to learn their craft. Because, Roger, we all know from science has told us that our brain here don't develop until we reach 25. Our body can say something different when we're teenagers, but our brain does not develop until 25. And so my thing is with administration, and I'll say this again, they must first remember these kids are learning their craft. The product of champs is a living testimony when the great Michael Johnson can bring a Grand Slam to Jamaica, where Glenn Mills have a Grand Slam in Jamaica now. And so the sport is at a different level. But they must not forget that the kids needs to keep learning their craft, and champs is ultimate place that they need to be to showcase their talent. And go ahead.
So 60. So back to that. 60 false starts over 5 days was just.
That's too much. Yeah, really
atrocious. Atrocious. And we can't accept that it was just all the kids' faults. We're not accepting that. Something
we can never accept
was
that.
wrong.
Never.
Something was definitely wrong.
Right.
And they need, because I mean it was the same starters who were at the Grand Slam this weekend gone, and not one false start.
Yeah, and but
not one.
But we're talking at 2 different levels.
And I know there's 2 different levels, but I'm just saying that it's the same starters.
Yeah,
so to the following week, the previous week, you had 60 odd.
And then the following week, you have 0.
Following week, I mean, I'll do it 0.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we know it's 2 different levels, but it's hard for people to look past that.
Yeah, I know that, but you see, remembering these kids are still, I think they're still learning their craft. So other things need to be overlooked. They need to be tweaked and deal with that. Question: how was the track? Cause I hear people like quarreling about track. Some saying that boy, the certification already. And tell me, how was the track?
No man, the track. I mean, we all had our skepticism and speculations and about the track, but
Right.
trust me, the track is good. It is fast. It is good for the athletes. I mean, a number of records were broken. I think there were about 5 records or so that was broken at champs, and they were generally good times. And I mean, if it was not for the wind at the Grand Slam, then maybe we would have also seen some spectacular time. We did saw a world leading time at Grand Slam actually with Said Al Nassar from Bahrain, the 400-meter runner. She ran 48, must have 60 or something. The fastest time ever by a woman at the National Stadium. That's a stadium record and the fastest time in the year. And this is the first time this time of the year an athlete is running that fast. So we did see that in terms of, what the truck can offer, what the truck can offer. So the track is a very, very, it is very good. It is very good based on observations. I mean, it has the national colors, and we all had all skepticism about that as well. But all in all, I mean, I can't find any complaints with the track right now.
Yeah. So one of my viewers, one of all but Dexter Williams asking you, why it was chance full at Michael Jackson Grand Slam Stadium was Grand Slam? I can't answer, but I want you answer from a Jamaica perspective. Why the stadium was so empty?
All right, there were a combination of factors. There were a combination of factors. Champ fatigue was one. I mean, people are coming. I mean, last week, coming off a high of champs, and then disposable income and so on. Then Friday, the choice of time on a Friday afternoon is not part of the Jamaican culture,
right?
In terms of the time, because while Grand Slam is saying that this event was geared directly for the American audience and the viewership in America, that was a prime time for them. In Jamaica at 5:30 in the afternoon, at that time, people don't normally turn up. Don't people stop? Normally, if the event had started at 7 o'clock, then you'd have had more. I would say you'd have had a full stadium, but more persons would have turned up. Another factor was that there was an expo. The Jamaica Expo was taking place on the said week. So there was a lot of traffic gridlock on and around the stadium. And, a lot of people went there as well. So that was a factor in terms of, the crowd. Only the diehards, would have turned out. And to be fair, I mean, the crowd only turn up for track and field and when you have a full stadium, like the final 5 or 4 hours on the final day at champs, that's when you really generally have a. I get the feeling that the Grand Slam people were hoping that based on what happened at champs, it would have been replicated.
No,
you understand, but culturally, Jamaicans are wired differently. So because of that, no, and all of those factors that I mentioned, those were just some of the things that led to what you saw in terms of low spectatorship. It was a little better on Saturday because they decided that they had to free up the bleachers.
Right.
So freeing up the bleachers, they got a decent crowd this time. I mean, it's a 35,000 seats stadium. So if a set of people are at the NOKC stay.
Yes.
I mean, most people over there to shade from the sun, and then the opposite side of the other side, the northern side. No, man, the other side where people always gather for shade. We have been doing it from our days.
Oh, next side, left and right side, yeah.
Yeah, the left and right side. Yeah, when the sun go over, and so there's where it is a shade. Right. So you find out a lot of people crammed those areas, and then the stands were decently. The grandstand was decent in terms of spectatorship, and so that was filled. But sorry, but the other, because it's a 35,000 seater stadium, and then it when the cameras are going around, it show the empty seats.
Right.
But those two ends were actually quite filled. on Saturday. On Sunday, most Jamaicans not gonna come out of them yard at 2:30 to come and watch a track meet. And that was one of the things that helped for the low spectatorship, because culturally, sun hot them time there, and
Right.
you know, and it have to be something absolutely special if a Messi play at that time there, or is a crucial World Cup game with Jamaica draw them go to World Cup or something like that. You know,
Right.
then people actually turn out. Some in extreme cases like that. So the timing from a Jamaican perspective was one of the reasons why, you know, we seen that low spectator turnout. I mean, a little market research as well could have helped in terms of, you know, to understand the psyche and the culture of Jamaicans, and as well as we in Jamaica now, we from a Jamaica point of view in terms of who is organizing it from the Jamaican end, and we as Jamaicans should have realized the significance of such an event,
Right.
as well. So
Right.
it's not about Grand Slam alone. It's also about we, because for Michael Johnson to start his Grand Slam meet in Jamaica is a big deal.
Yes, of
That
course.
is a massive deal, and the way how it was presented to a global audience, you know, in terms of those who were watching it on TV had one of the best ever view in terms of, you know, production. State of the art, new ways of the drones that follows the athlete right around the track, you know, the sliding cameras to the sides, you know, back view, front view, side view, four different cameras on screen at one time showing the different directions. It was I and a fellow colleague or other colleagues believe that the production was better than even the Olympics and World Championships in terms of how it was produced for television.
You see, and you link something on earlier. We have to learn and appreciate that. That this is how sports is produced in America. Sports is produced differently in terms of one, venue and television. So the experience of television is different from the experience of being at the stadium, if I'm making sense to you.
Yeah, definitely.
And I will give you, and that's where I don't disrespect to the team that Jamaica, our boys and girls champs. That's where there's a big difference. TV production, bringing it live, is different when you're at the stadium. And I will give you an example. Before I call you what I was trying to run on fast, boy. I will give you an example that I went to a game over the weekend with my kids to watch the Red Bulls. Red Bulls versus Chicago Fire. And trust me, the stadium experience, to be honest, was too much for me. The game was in front of me playing, and I was watching the game, but the atmospheric in the stadium was totally different. And so I was in a different bubble, or you can call it trance, while watching the game. If I was on TV in the living room, I watch the game, the commentary is going on nice and I give a different production. And so that's where I would also just suggest to champs organize that you have to bring something different for stadium and TV production. And man was commentate on TV very boring and chat them till laugh, but it is just totally boring.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it also come down to resources too, you know, because I mean,
well, if Grace can invest over 100 million, I need to know where the resources you can spend some time on production. And that's all I'm saying.
They have improved over the years, and I get your point. And I mean, you can do more in terms of maybe study other markets to see what you can bring to enhance the whole experience. Because at the end of the day, Jamaica is a track and field country, so you want the very
Correct.
best. So if you have the best athlete, you need the best in terms of how you view the sport as well.
Correct.
So
and
from
so
that point of
based on the
view,
Grand Slam and
yes.
experience, I believe that, as I said, the Jamaica administration or the government, they fell short on not advising Michael Johnson how to do it. But the Grand Slam came with expecting that they got more viewers in terms of attendance. And I just said Jamaica
in terms of attendance,
different.
Yeah, our culture different.
And
our culture different.
Yes.
Because even on Friday,
mm-hmm.
2 races to go. That time, with 2 races to go, because the meet was a 2-hour meet. It started 5:42, and 7:21 was the last race. And even with 2 races to go, that is the time people are streaming into the stadium. By the time the final race come, people were still coming into the stadium. So they just watch the 100 meter and then that's it, the meet done. So everybody starts stream out back. You understand? So I mean that because that's the time Jamaicans come out on a Friday evening. The traffic, you come from work, you need time to come from work, you need time to do whatever, and then a 7 o'clock start would have been
much more
appropriate from a Jamaican perspective. But we understand that they say that they were gearing for the American audience. So, but there has to be some give and take.
And this is my thing, that they could have been a delayed broadcast or rebroadcast of that.
Yeah.
So running live, come 7 o'clock as expected, but they were thinking of more live because guess what? It's all about TV production and viewership on TV about that. So there's another market apart from the stadium. They have about viewership to get the viewership because they want to be in prime time so people can watch it. So
yes.
So it is a catch-2 situation there.
Yeah. There has to be a give and take. Yeah, there has to be a give and take somewhere. If you want spectators to come to your event in Jamaica.
Right, in Jamaica. And then next year, our viewership in the US, around the world where they broadcast it because they once again, Jamaica.
And there was also
35,000, but they get viewership of maybe 1 million. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and there was also another thought that maybe if the event had started, say in Miami or somewhere else, and then Jamaicans would have seen the whole hype, because Jamaicans love hype too, they would have seen the whole hype of the event, and then seeing that now, and then it is being promoted in Jamaica, and to know that some of the world's best athletes, will be coming and so on, then also that would have helped. That would have helped. Because I remember it's the very first event ever in Grand Slam, to getting it off the ground, and you're getting it off the ground in Jamaica is just one of those things where you have to be in tune with the culture of the people. So it's a big thing for Jamaica, there's no doubt about that, and I don't think a lot of Jamaicans understand the magnitude of this Grand Slam.
It does not sink in yet.
Yeah.
And let's say maybe try to start somewhere and then come to Jamaica next and then move forward. And then the timing right after Boys and Girls Championship.
Yeah. So there was that fatigue as well. There was that fatigue.
And then also you remember the culture of Jamaica is not that about track and field. So we have our peak period and all that. Brother Ratcha, we got 2 minutes to go. So
yeah,
closing,
that's a time flying, man.
Recommend to the organization of champs in terms of the future and how they best should handle the situation and try to avoid these pitfalls, this fiasco they had at this championship, and how best they should approach things going forward. What is your thoughts? Your final thoughts?
One of the school of thought is that for the short term, get professionals from overseas to do some critical, to come and sit in the critical areas of start and the appeal process, and let an international crew come for the next couple of years to deal with that aspect, to wipe away all speculations of bias and you know what I'm saying. if you get
Yeah, and I say you want
people,
neutral persons to come in. Okay,
right,
gotcha.
and
Not
if
from
you can
Jamaica,
get a
but
get some neutral persons for the next couple of years. I mean, it won't be after be forever, but just to kind of level back down the thing, get back a little trust in the system, get back a little reputation, a little credibility. I think that, but I don't think they're gonna do it. But that is what I think they should do to bring back a level of trust,
right,
and credibility to the thing for the foreseeable. If they can't get that, and there's also, we also need a new generation of persons in some critical areas. Sometimes I wonder if they're not training anybody, because it's the same people you come back and you say every year. And I say I fight out a man or whatever, but sometimes you need to see some new people in some new in some areas,
some
so that
evolution
there's continuity.
That's what they say. There's also evolution.
Yeah. And fight out a man, because whatever. But I mean, because everybody can evolve to something else.
Correct.
If you understand.
And that's what we talk evolution, revolution to improve the sports.
Yeah. So that is something that I think they need to look at. In terms of to bring I don't think we have a problem with. We don't have an issue with the athletes. We don't have an issue with the sponsorship. We don't have an issue with the facilities and so on. But those are the critical areas that them have to bring some level of appearance of neutrality.
Right, and in my closing remarks about this is that the first ISAF need to look retrospectively into the rules and regulation governing their sporting body in terms of champs, football, whatever sports. They need to bring professional help to help them with that. They need to look more on remembering that kids are learning their craft.
Yes.
The kids are learning their craft, and they're going to make mistakes a lot. But it's more important to learn from the mistakes and move forward. And I'm going to say this: they must be able to give these kids a second chance or another opportunity to continue learning their craft to improve themselves. It's hard to see kids being disqualified just for a shake in the foot in the starting block. It's hard.
What is even harder is when they go way down to certain reaction and the retroactive. That was just one big thing, the whole retroactive thing.
Right.
I mean, I think that's right.
No. Reaction thing no need to be there, but
know about you are being disqualified retroactively when you come for warm up. All them things. That's never make no sense. Yeah.
I just say importantly, professional help from outside for the organization. And also the second one I say was the immediate No, second recommendation you had was
I was just saying that for the foreseeable future, there need professionals from overseas to come and sit in the critical areas.
Correct. And evolution in terms of
new right. So there needs to be new people in some of the critical areas then, because it's the same old people we're seeing every year, and sometimes that create a problem.
Improving it.
Right.
And then my point, third point, is that they need to look at retrospective now into the rules and regulation governing the sports. Of all the sports right now, into improving it, bring some level of accountability,
and make sure one rule is for the rules. Everybody, a level playing field for everybody, and let it not appear that some teams is getting away while others are not getting away. It has to be across the board.
It has to be a level playing field.
Yes, for everybody.
If there's any breach, that school must have the consequences.
There must be something that is felt.
Yes.
Taking away 0 points is not felt.
Right. And most important, you want hey, all right, that's stop both. Stop both some ball. But most importantly, you want the integrity.
Yes.
Integrity to improve, not to be questioned. That's what you're saying.
Yes, and credibility.
And credibility. My brother, Roger, I really thank you coming on and sharing your views about the boys' championship and giving your perspective on everything. And you made your recommendations and about the Grand Slam. And listen, continue to be doing the good work you're doing, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Never be fearless in writing. Never be fearless in speaking the truth to power. Because we need more like you, Roger, who's seeing the thing on the ground and speaking truth to power. Because one thing we learn about life, and my mother always said, when it's about the truth always hurts something like so. You can't the thing about when you speak truth, it always offends people because you see and you feel the injustices or the biases that's taking place.
Right.
So you continue to be you, Roger, and I must say on behalf of my team here in New York, Next Generation, we will welcome you next week. And we're looking
certainly looking forward to
next week when you come in.
Come up and make up a serious contribution so that the event will be a success.
Yes, sir.
Man. Looking forward to it. Yes, man.
And once again, thank you for coming on, my brother. I appreciate you. And we'll talk again soon. Have a wonderful night.
Yes, man. Yeah, man. Same, Sean.
Going back.
Yes, man.
IRFM to the world.
Yeah, man. IRFM. IRFM number one.
And listen, man, nobody worry about the Liverpool shirt come up, you know.
Never walk alone, man. Never walk alone.
Never walk alone. Well, I'm a Spurs, man. I will tap them Spurs.
Ah, boy. I mean, all right, sir. But,
my Spurs are woozy right now. But you guys, Liverpool will the title this year, and I congratulate Liverpool. I hope that you sign back Mo Salah for one more year or so.
Yeah, man. It look like him coming back for 2 years. For 2 years.
It's fine. I might want to move on. He'll come to MLS. I call the retirement league.
Yeah. And don't Saudi them still might want him and pay millions same way.
Yeah, man. It's Cristiano Ronaldo that's still up here at 40. And all that. But my brother, thank you.
Man. Man. Good to be here, man.
Yeah, man. I will talk again. Be safe.
Yeah, man. All right,
night.
give thanks.
Good night.
All right, Sean. Bless. Good night.
Bless. Yes, thank you, my viewer. That was Roger. Aswal. English name is legendary. He's a sports writer for over 25 years, IRFM. He came on and gave you about champs. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this discussion about champs and what can be done to improve the performance and the administrative side of things. So once again, thank you, my brothers, for joining me for another episode of My Perspective. Please remember next week, Saturday 19th. Yes, the big relay, the New York Next Generation Invitation Relays will be live and direct in Mount Vernon Stadium next week, Saturday, April 19th. So please enjoy the rest of the night. I will see you all next week. Next week, Wednesday, for another episode of My Perspective. I'm Sean Falcon, your host. Enjoy and have a good week, rest of the week. Peace out. One love.
High schools from the tri-state area, New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey will square off with some of Jamaica's finest in a blockbuster showdown. In the first staging of the New York Next Gen Invitational Relays at the Memorial Stadium in Mount Vernon, New York on Saturday, April 19. Among the special invited Jamaican schools are Homewood Technical, along with Bear Technical and Belfield, among others, who will be on show in this epic one-day athletics carnival starting at 8:30 a.m. as they fine-tune preparations ahead of the Penn Relays in Philadelphia 1 week later. The traditional 4x100 meters, the 4x400 meter relays, the 100 meters dash, the 110 sprint hurdles, 400 meters, and the 800 meters are among the events on schedule in a spectacular day of athleticism, teamwork, and community. Let's support the next generation of champions. That's the first staging of the New York Next Gen Invitational Relays at the Memorial Stadium in Mount Vernon, New York on Saturday, April 19. You can't afford to miss it.